Word up, boo.
Yo, what's up?
Hi. Lauren, I totally forgot we never did introductions. I'm Nat. Notice that if you listen to me and Lauren speak, you might not have any idea of who we are because we just go right into it. But hi, guys. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Natalie Diaz, and I'm with
Lauren Oak.
that feels me. Oh, Lauren, how's life been treating you?
This week's been busy, but overall okay.
Why do you find that you do this? Okay, so Lauren and I both work for ourselves, which is a blessing and a curse in so many different ways.
Yes.
Do you find that you have a really hard time saying no?
Yes, absolutely. But I've learned that I have to say no.
How did you learn that? Teach me.
The hard way.
How? Why?
Hard
Because
way.
burning out or having a heart attack or nervous breakdown?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Basically.
When did
And I
you
learned
learn
to say,
this?
when did I learn it?
How long ago did this happen that you were like,
Well,
I'm gonna have better
I
days?
do overnights. I work overnights as a postpartum doula. And for years, literally years, I did like 5 nights a week. Sometimes I would have clients that overlap. So I was doing like 13 nights in a row to finish up with one client and start with the other. And I did that twice last year. I did a 13-night stint and a 10-night stint in a row. And I did not take any time off for like 2 years. I had maybe a 2 nights here and there. And I felt that it was taking a toll on my family. It was taking a toll on my body. I was missing out on stuff on life. And then, so last year at the end of working with a twin family for 5 months, 5 nights a week, I said to myself, in the summers, I'm only going to do 4 nights. So I started doing that this year, and my summer was so much more enjoyable. And then this past week, even though I was busy with doing personal things, I wasn't working because my last client I stopped with and my new client I don't start with until Sunday. So I had a week to get stuff done personally. I moved my daughter Abigail into her dorm. Emily had doctor's appointments. I just had things, and I wanted, even if I didn't have any of that to do, and I knew I wasn't going to get paid for the week because I didn't have work, I just needed it.
Yeah.
So I just needed to get stuff done around the house. My house looked like a tornado hit it this week. So I've been cleaning and trying to organize and throw things out. But I need to schedule that. And then moving forward in December, my new thing is last December, I didn't take any postpartum clients, any long-term contracted ones, but I did birth support, which in itself is a lot of work. But I did 2 births in December, and I only did a few random postpartum. I worked for one of your clients, and I did a few things and just made it a little more flexible and free for myself. It was a lot of work going into it because I had to save money and budget and that stuff, but it was good because then I wasn't completely burnt out, because working overnights really takes a toll on your body.
Yeah. I don't know how.
But it took me
so
years.
challenging.
It took me years of saying yes, yes, yes to learn to be no. And I'm happy I did it. I'm happy I did it.
I'm happy you did it too. I got to get better at that. I'm really bad. Really bad.
No, I am too, because usually I'm just as bad as you, where I'm oh yeah, I'll do it. And then I'm exhausted.
Then I got nothing left in the tank for my family.
And I learned that now that I'm turning 50, I need to realize that you only live once, and you got to take care of yourself, because you can't take care of other people. And that's my job. I take care of other people. And I want to enjoy life.
There is, therapists, psychologists, and therapists always have therapists to talk to, or you're supposed to.
Yeah. Yes.
Right? I don't think birth workers, I don't think we do that as much.
No. And as for me, I don't have coworkers. I don't have, I don't go into an office and sit down and have lunch with my coworkers.
Yeah.
I have clients, they're kind of like my coworkers, but I have other doula friends that I try to meet up with. We have our meetings, we have in-person meetings every other month. But then last month I met up with a doula friend at the beach.
Yeah.
So that was my way, and we talk shop, even though we were at the beach.
Listen, you got to squeeze in what you can.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking a lot about my work schedule and John's work schedule, and what are we doing? I know that of course we have to work to pay bills. I'm not a dummy, but at the same time, it's what's my end game here?
Yeah.
And so am I saying yes for financial reasons? And I'm really not. My thing is, I have come to the conclusion that I wrote it on a Post-it. It literally said, this is going to get deep for a second. It says, I can't help but fix things that are broken.
Yeah. And I feel like I need to fix things or help things or make things easier.
Yeah.
Maybe because I didn't have it the easiest when my kids were little and my babies were born.
I think that's it.
And that is a lot of it. I think that's a lot of it. Like, I don't want anybody to suffer in any way that I may have suffered.
So, but that's so tough. So it kind of goes along with today's topic, right? So today we're talking to Alexandra, and we're really talking about help in general. And how do you have help? And how do you balance the labor distribution, right? So like both you and I, whether we were just moms or whether we're entrepreneurs or no matter what we do in life, I think we always do a little too much. And I don't necessarily know if we've always had a fair labor distribution between us and our partners.
In recent years, it's getting a little more fair. Dan is definitely picking up the slack, but when the kids were little, it was all on me.
Yes. So now me too. Like all of a sudden, John is like bucking up. And I'm like, why couldn't you do this when they were 1?
Yeah, he's like, I'll take them to the outlets and get them shoes, and I'll take this one to the bank and open a new bank account. I'm like, where were you 15 years ago?
When I was little, maybe he was just scared? Like, do you think that? Because I feel like
well, he worked 2 jobs. He was physically out of the house the majority of the day, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
He worked 2 jobs. It was like a lot. He hates medical stuff, so he never wanted to take them to the doctor. And he'll take the kids to the doctor.
Yeah.
But he is aggravated by, he hates it. That's not his cup of tea.
Yeah.
But he likes to go to the mall and the outlets. So and garage selling and thrifting and all that stuff. So I'm like, you do that, because I don't have the time and the desire to be doing that. Whereas years ago, I would be like dragging them through the mall, trying to find shoes and socks. And the kids even said to me the other day, they're like, you used to take us shopping all the time and you don't do it anymore. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it then. It was aggravating, and Dad's better at it.
Yeah.
And he's been doing the food shopping too lately.
Oh, that's nice.
No, because then he buys so much crap that we don't need.
Oh, that's not nice.
Entenmann's donuts, 2 packs, buy one, get one free. I'm like, we don't need all of these donuts.
But they would buy one, get one free, Lauren. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, but then I eat 3 chocolate donuts.
That's a you problem then. Don't blame Dan.
I'm like,
he did the
please stop
grocery
buying
shopping.
them.
Leave him be.
Well, we went to Costco. He opened a Costco membership, and then he got approved for a Costco card. And he's like, ooh, how can I spend $9,000 at Costco?
Amen. I'm with him.
He's like, let's book a trip.
The lemon. That's Johnny literally was talking yesterday. He's like, we should do a cruise. I'm like, first of all, I don't know if I'm ready. My last cruise was when my mother was still alive.
That was rough.
So hurt on that cruise. Like, I am traumatized. I need another 7 years at least.
But he's also like, let's buy a big TV. And I'm like, we don't need that.
Hi, what about Costco selling coffins?
I have not seen that.
Boo, I'm going to Google it because I know I'm not crazy.
I'm sure. Walmart, I think, sells them too.
Costco coffins.
We're not around here.
Yep, 100%. Lauren, there is a website called Overnight Caskets. That's all I'm going to say. Okay?
I don't want that.
Guys.
I don't want it.
Guys, I'm going to buy us a nice casket. I'm just going to literally keep it here. Lauren, we'll use it for your backyard. We'll make it a cooler.
No, we'll grow things out of it.
$13.49.
We'll put dirt in it and grow things out of it. Sunflowers.
$1,349 at Costco.
That's a steal. That's really...
delivery's available? Thank goodness. Because it definitely wouldn't fit.
Because I don't want to pick it up.
Costco's the best and worst at the same time. I love Costco so much. There's these one limoncello almonds that are at Costco. We had them last year, but apparently Costco sells different things in different parts of the country.
Yes.
So Amanda, part of our wonderful Twiniversity team, she works at Costco as well. And she is my limoncello almond supplier. And so when I run low, I'm like, hey, do you have them by there? She's like, I'll send you 2 packs.
I'll have to look at them since we were members years ago, because that was the only place my dad ever shopped. And then when he passed away, we discontinued the membership and we started going to BJ's. But Dan was like, let's go back to Costco. And he was a man in heaven walking around there, throwing things in the cart randomly.
It's wonderful.
95% of it was junk food, because he loves a good cookie or donut or chips. I would like to, I'm going to go back this week by myself and get like real stuff, like, you
Good.
know, chicken. And
I bought a mirror at Costco. Maybe let's go with 1998. And this mirror still is one of my prized possessions. I think I paid like $98 for it. It's huge. It goes, it's over my whole, well, right now it's actually against the wall. It's the same width as a couch. So I think 74. It's like, it's big.
if you come here next month, we'll go to Costco.
I love Costco.
Around.
Oh, I'm coming. There's no
wander
question. It's literally on the calendar already. We're bingoing. We're Costcoing.
Hibachi.
Oh, yes. I'm having the steak and shrimp. I already know. And I'm asking for that extra ginger sauce, whatever that is. And I don't want the soup. I want the salad because I'm so
But it's in someone's backyard. It's going to be all twin moms in someone's backyard.
Love it. Literally love this idea.
That's Friday night.
Sorry that
Saturday
I
is
almost
bingo.
cursed. I got so excited.
And Dan won't be here.
Ooh.
He's going to Montreal with Molly.
Wait, am I getting my own room?
Yes. We're right
Stop
here.
it.
Yeah. In the guest room.
Don't
You're
have
going to
a
get
fan?
There's a ceiling fan.
No, I need a box fan for noise.
Oh, we have fans.
Thank you.
We have fans. I can put it in the window. Yeah.
Do I get to sleep with one dog or two dogs?
You can sleep with any dogs you want. No dogs.
No, I have to have a dog.
Okay, please. You could take a dog. We got plenty to share.
All right. I love this. Okay, we're totally digressing off the topic today. I'm so excited.
We can
I
have
am
our
so excited.
conversation.
I can't wait to have a weekend at the Oak compound. So yes, I cannot wait. Genuinely, I'm literally like it's vacation. It's
going to be so much fun.
And then we're going away the next month too.
That's right. We're going to make this, we have to see each other every month one way or another.
I love this idea. Life is too busy. It goes back to that whole like, what the heck are we doing?
Yep, exactly.
If we don't do things now, when are we going to do them?
When are we going to do it? When we're in the nursing home?
Yes, we would actually. That's probably when we'll have the most fun.
Well, yeah, of course.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to be very rowdy. And that's it. I hope they have a separate compound.
They're going to separate us. They're going to be like, 100%. They can't be on the same wing.
No, we can't be on the same floor. I'm going to tie my sheets together and then make a ladder out my window to get to you, no matter where you are. All right. So today, we're talking to Alex, going back on topic, okay, bringing us back to center. Okay. So we're talking to Alex, and she is a South Philly mom. So I already love like geographically desirable people that I don't have to stay up till 10 p.m. to talk to them to tape a podcast, which is nice. So Alex and her husband had to make the big decision on who was going to stay home with the twinnies. And this whole podcast is basically their stream of consciousness, let's say, on the decision-making process of who's going to stay home. And then once the decision was made, what that would look like. And it was honestly, I literally just listened to it again a few days ago because I remembered that she said something and I wanted to pull a quote. I'm not going to tell you what the quote is because I'm going to use it for social media, but it was very impactful. And so if you are like, what are we going to do? Like, are we going to do daycare? Are we going to do a nanny? The answer may be neither. The answer may be one partner stays home, and the answer may not be the partner that you think. So that's what today's topic is about. I'm really excited. I loved this conversation and truthfully, definitely met somebody that feels like my spirit animal.
Aww.
So you have to meet Alex. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, guys, without further ado, here's Alex. Good morning, Miss Alexandra. How are you today?
Good morning, Natalie. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Good. Thank you for being on my coast. It makes things a lot easier. I like that. I like a nice early morning visit. I am really stoked about today's topic because I know this is a subject that everybody struggles with, right? Everybody's always like, truthfully, like I swear on a stack of Bibles. If you look at what people are searching for on Twiniversity, it is help, breastfeeding, strollers, and sleep. These are the top 4 categories and have been since we launched in 2009.
Wow.
So I literally, and it has never changed, which I was like, oh, wait, I'll write a lot of articles on these things. But then as the times change, you guys never changed. It's literally help, breastfeeding, stroller, sleep. No joke. And that is when I decided to write what to do when you're having to. If you look at the way the chapters are outlined, it's literally that. So I took that and I was like, we're writing a book on this. So
I remember that actually.
it's cuckoo town. So it has not changed. This help of what are we going to do? And it's not only help in the early days, right? Because of course you say, what kind of help do I need out when I get away from the hospital? But there's this whole thing that you still have to do something until they go to kindergarten. So what are you going to do? So give us a little behind the music, if you will, on a little bit about your pregnancy, finding out that you had twins, and then your journey to what you were going to do about help.
So just a little background. I have a bachelor's of science in education, specifically with early childhood and special ed. So in my mind, always wanting to be a mom, having a bunch of background in it, I was like, oh, this is going to go really well. Super smooth. I'm going to know exactly what to do. Then life hits, career change happens. I meet my husband. COVID happened, and both of our careers kind of went a little even more different ways. So he ended up taking kind of some like part-time odd jobs. We're both in the construction industry. Things were a little wonky for a while with production moving after COVID. So he kind of went the small business route, was doing kind of handyman stuff. He's an electrician. And I picked up and went back full time pretty quickly. So as we were navigating that, we also got married in 2021, a little bit after COVID. We kind of always knew if we were going to have kids, he would stay home and I would continue on my career path. Financially, it worked better for us just with the opportunities that we had at those moments. It was always like a little dagger in my heart knowing that I wasn't going to be home with them. But I really enjoy working in my career and I have a good thing going. So it's honestly worked out better now because I get some mental break from the mom stuff every day.
Absolutely.
So the pregnancy, I found out, I feel like way too early that I was pregnant with twins. At like week 5, I felt something like super soon. Like I just felt different after right around missing my period. And then I went in, it was still in COVID times. Like Nick wasn't allowed to come back with me to the ultrasound. So I'm in this room, the one where the internal one.
Okay.
With the stick. I'm in this room for like over an hour by myself. And she's just like probing and probing. And I'm like, oh my God, like something's wrong. Like this isn't, no, she's not saying anything. Then she's like, I'm done. I'm going to go get your husband. Like, okay. So Nick comes back. He's like, what the hell's been going on? You've been back here forever. All these nurses are like giggling as he's like walking in. So she sits down and she shows us like, you know, here's the embryo. There's a little flicker of the heartbeat. We're like, okay, all right, everything's fine. She's like, yeah, there's just one more thing. And she like swipes over with the wand and she's like, there's the other baby. I swear to God, my husband, I thought he was going to drop dead on the floor. He went completely white. There wasn't like, it was such shock that I was scared for him. Like, I was like, I'm going through it, but he looks very nervous. It was beyond nerve-wracking the first trimester. Physically, I literally could barely stay awake. I just remember eating as much as possible and sleeping as much as possible to get through the workday. And he would wake me up to like feed me dinner. Like I'd be asleep on the couch after work. He'd be like, eat your collard greens, eat your protein. That was awesome. He's really big into nutrition. And I think that made a huge difference for them growing wise. The pregnancy, they were really healthy all the way through. It was never easy, right? Like the first trimester, you're exhausted. The second trimester, I had a bunch of sciatica. Then the third trimester, you know, is just like, you're as big as a house. You can't move. They were born the end of July in South Philly. So it was like 120 degrees in our room. I just sat next to the air conditioning for like a whole month. He would just like wait on me. And, you know, I'd get up and like walk around the block and be like, that's it. That's all I can do. The breathing was really hard. Breathing was really hard.
Yes.
We had a little bit of a growth restriction and actually the OB chalked it up to COVID. We went on a baby moon. I got COVID in Puerto Rico. You know, you live, you learn. What are you going to do?
What type of twinnies do you have? Are they die?
Two fraternal, die boys.
Okay. Die boys. Okay.
Very
So separate
individually
apartments, separate,
themselves.
so that was at least an easier side of the pregnancy, a little bit less to worry about, but
and
still.
as soon as my husband found out they were 2 boys, he was like, "Oh, this is great." And I'm like, "Okay, well,
that's a
took you
lot.
20 weeks to put a smile on your face." It's just so nerve-wracking,
Yeah, of course.
just knowing that they're in there, but you can't tell like if they're okay. I was asking my girlfriends, I'm like, "How do you know what's going on?" And they're like, "You don't. You
Nope. You don't.
just wait for that next appointment." I'm just gonna skip to having them.
I love
know
a good
it's gonna
fast
be-
forward. So
yeah,
you
I'm just
fast
gonna be
forward.
really
How did
stressful.
delivery go?
I went in for like one of my non-stress tests and I had a headache and I wasn't feeling good and my blood pressure was really high. So they were like, "You're going to go to the OB floor and your husband's going to come meet you." He was working. He'll get home, get our bags.
What week was that?
This was 37.
37.
I had a scheduled C-section for 38.
Okay.
And I really never even considered delivering them naturally, which honestly, we can go into that. It's a whole nother conversation. But the birth was, and I'm sorry for all you moms out there, like the birth was extremely traumatic. It just is. The OR is a scary place.
Yeah.
And there's
Have you ever been in the hospital before? Or was
I
that
have.
okay?
And
So
I
this
have
wasn't
a
your
little
first time.
PTSD from surgeries in the past too. I was already not loving that scenario. And there's so many doctors in the room and the drugs and the hormones. And it's like, it was scary. One really annoying thing that happened was as soon as they literally, like, I'm on the table, arms out, my husband comes in and they come over the announcement and they said that I had tested positive for COVID. And I'd been in the hospital for like 8 hours at this point, since like the morning. And I'm like, this is just coming out.
Yeah.
They stop everything. Everyone leaves the room, puts on like hazmat suits,
Okay.
goes back in.
Yes.
And scarier.
Yes.
And I'm still just sprawled out on the table.
Mama. Oh,
It was, it was
I'm so
tough.
sorry. It's like
Yeah,
the
like
movie Outbreak. Did you ever see the movie where like the
Yeah.
monkey escapes the lab and now all of a sudden you're the monkey and now that is no bueno. I don't know why I'm making this memory worse for you by giving you movie attachments.
No,
I could imagine that. Oh
and
my
then
goodness.
you're just like stuck. You can't,
Yeah.
now
Yes.
I'm out of control or I have no control. The kids came, honestly, it was such a blur. Our doula wasn't allowed. We were like sequestered into a room. No one was allowed in there. Nick wasn't allowed out. That was a whole thing with the doctors.
Jeez.
Luckily, he packed like a huge cooler of food that we had like previously had cooked because hospital food is disgusting and we couldn't leave. The boys came out each a little over 5 pounds.
Okay.
Thank freaking God.
That's great.
They didn't have to go to the NICU. I just was in such bad shape. I had preeclampsia and I was not doing well.
Okay.
So over the first night, there was a lot of bleeding.
Okay. Were you in ICU or did they put you in the postpartum floor?
They put me on the postpartum floor.
Okay.
And then overnight, there was a team working on me. The next day, I had to go get the magnesium treatment.
Yeah.
Which the trauma that's like physical trauma where like you're away from the kids, that's such an early time. I do feel like I still hold on to that like first day where I barely remember anything. And I'm like, who had them? What was going on? Obviously, Nick was with them, but like I was gone for hours with that magnesium stuff. That's no funny.
No bueno. It's not. Did you need a transfusion or iron infusions?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
So once I had
Knock
the
on wood.
magnesium, I started to clot and things started to get better.
Good.
But they literally expect you to stand up and like hold the babies and walk around and
Yep.
like you're broken.
Gentle reminder, it's the only place in a hospital where a patient is required to take care of another patient. It's
I
still,
couldn't believe it.
girl. Well, we have a whole podcast coming up this season that's all about how we're like taught to advocate for ourselves. But why the hell are we advocating for ourselves? Could somebody else do that for
Right.
us so we could have children? Oh, different story, different day. Oh my gosh,
it
we
is,
digress.
it is.
You're going to enjoy that one. You're going to love that
Yeah, I
episode.
am.
I already am calling it.
And my husband was that advocate and it did get dicey at times because no one was really explaining what was going on or
Yeah.
how bad of shape I was in, which is scary. Especially when they're telling you to breastfeed. I'm like,
Yeah.
breastfeed? I can't even like lift my head up. I can't hold a baby.
Yep, I hear you.
So we get home. I remember we like shut the front door and I was like, we're never leaving this house again. Like that was so scary, these little angels. And
Mm.
then it was just no sleep, 1,000 bottles a day, 1,000 diapers, and calling like our families immediately and be like, hey, I know we said we needed a couple days, but like, can you come tonight?
Good.
Luckily, we still have a bunch of family around us, even in our neighborhood, which is amazing. Like,
So
I
you
can't.
knew that after delivery, you were going to rely on family. So you already had that all planned. I love that you initially had planned to be flying solo, just you and Nick. However, having backup like that is priceless. Priceless. Did you not have COVID, by the way? Was that a false alarm?
I think it was a false alarm or like long COVID. I don't know. I had zero symptoms. I didn't even have a fever. They made us test the babies, which I let them test the babies once, like going up their nose, and then they came back negative, and we were like, all right, get away from them.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. Yes. Good news. I constantly quiz my 20-year-olds if they remember certain things, and they don't. So the good news is no recollection of the NICU. The earliest memory that they seem to be able to both pull seems to be around 2.5, 3.
Okay, that sounds great. That's right where I am right now. So everything
perfect. You're good. You're good. It's a clean whiteboard before this.
I love that. That's the biggest thing I'm going to take from today.
It's a good one. But I do, honestly, Alexandra, seriously,
everyone.
I ask my kids all the time because I was traumatized by the NICU. So the thing is I'm like, do you remember that? Do you remember this? Do you remember this? And they're like, no, you're out of your mind. We don't know what's wrong with you. We're sorry that things happened to you, but we're fine. And I'm like, okay.
It's like on purpose. Nature for that is doing us a favor. Because even like, I'm sure you too, and most twin moms, that first year, you just
it's
like,
a blur.
Your eyes are open, but you don't remember things.
No, I only remember things in pictures. Seriously, there's probably 4 months that I have no actual memories. It's just the memory of the picture. Like I know my memory is like, oh, I was wearing that blue shirt. They were both sitting on my lap. It's not a first person memory. It's like a weird third person. I don't even know what it's about.
Looking down.
Yes.
On the whole thing.
And
we have the photos that come on the TV when it's like, well, we're not watching TV. And that's same. And it'll have the date on it. And that I'm like, oh, that was when you were 6 months old. That looks like that was a nice time. I don't know.
Nope. I got nothing either. We're digressing. I knew this was going to be a problem with you because when you sent in your application, I saw all the things that we could talk about. This is my biggest problem with this podcast is because I could go off the rails at any time. And because there's so much great stuff and it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, we're going back on track. We're putting our engine back on. We're getting our train on the track. We're going to go full steam ahead. Now, Mr. Nick, love him. When did that discussion begin about him helping more? And so you always knew that if and when, like the concept of kids, but it's very different to have a concept of what's going to happen and then the reality of what's going to happen. So when did that shift start really taking place?
So I really think in the 3rd trimester, once we saw my physical state and once I started to grasp the miracle of what my body did in 9 months or, 7, 8 months, how long it was going to take to kind of recover, which I'm still there 2.5 years later. But then I'm like, okay, so if I have to go back to work in 3 months, he was planning on going back to work part-time around that same time. And my dad and family members were going to, help us throughout the week. They're taking care of the twins through my surgery recovery. Like, I don't even think I was able to fully take care of them alone for the first 6 to 8 weeks. And Nick, like super dad, was taking care of all 3 of us for the first month or 2. This is crazy. And I hope there's someone else out there that's experienced this, but like Nick was like the mama bird. Like he was, because I was just in such bad shape the first couple weeks. And he just put it into like functionality. He was like, this is the plan. This is the schedule. This is what we're going to do. And the guilt, but then also appreciation and grateful. Like, I'm so grateful, and then 3 months passes of him doing that and he's dead.
Yeah.
So then I'm going back to work. My dad was coming a couple times a week. My aunts were coming a couple times a week. His mom was coming a couple times a week just so he could sleep to then continue to take care of us all. It was about January. So that was July. So like 6 months into it, we sat down and like his job was calling like, hey, like every couple weeks we were like, hey, he can't go back to work. I'm so sorry. He can't go back to work. Because on top of all the twins, there's the house and the groceries
Of
and
course.
the bill.
Life.
And
Yes.
it's a full-time gig.
Yep.
And I was like, please don't go back to work. Even though financially, do we still need it? Yes. But we just were really adamant that like, we want to make such a safe space for them. And we wanted it to be in our house, in our neighborhood, at our park down the street, at my sister's house a couple blocks away. And I even went as far as to I rent like a little apartment above our garage on our block. And I turned the little apartment into a little preschool. So like they come here during the week with my dad or Nick so they can get out of the house a little bit. Or like we have friends or a babysitter come and bring the kids here so we can be in the house without the kids. I will say that the dynamic between my husband and myself has shifted greatly since this decision.
Okay.
And
describe that to
that's
us
been
more.
hard.
That is probably the biggest challenge that couples will face when you have these set in stone, weird traditional rules that we don't know who wrote and we don't know why we're following them. But yet instinctively, it's typically how most of us grew up. So it's kind of just expected that the women are going to be the nurturers and the boys are going to be the provider. And now you have this ginormous shift. How did that take a toll on your relationship? And how do you balance that? Because I know we've had dads that say they feel a little emasculated sometimes when their wives are like, oh, you do this and this. And then you have moms that are like, no, there's no reason for them to feel that way. This is the biggest gift that they're ever giving our kids. So there's always this kind of communication block because also it's the way that Nick thinks too. Right? If he was raised with like a man's man dad that was, home on weekends. So if you grew up like that, this is a big shift for him. It's a big shift for you. Just the dynamic of doubling your family in the size of a day and then figuring out financially how you're going to balance everything. Yeah. You still have to remember that you want to stay married through this or hopefully stay married through this, right? We do know that parents of twins have a higher rate of divorce than the national average, unfortunately. So with that, how are you making this work?
Okay, so I do want to back up. 2 reasons we wanted to keep them home and to have a stay-at-home situation with one of us, it being Nick. Nick comes from a pretty traumatic childhood. He's one of 4. His father died when he was 10.
Oh,
he
sorry.
assisted raising his younger siblings with his single mom who was working full time, so It was tough in Philly. So inner city stuff. I was raised out in the suburbs in a decently affluent neighborhood. Both of my parents worked. I was in daycare from like 4 months, 5 months, very young. I've been open about this with my mom too. So it's okay to speak about it, but that was not what I wanted for my children, whether it's just because it wasn't what was done to me or Nick and I just felt like where their parents were the safest place for them. Early childhood wise, it's like the first couple years are the most important, right? They learn to trust the world or not trust the world. And we just wanted to have that really like tight knit place for them. To second that, Nick seems still way more comfortable with the situation than I do. Whether it's the mom guilt or I thought it was going to be like this, or leaving the house every day and watching the kids cry when I have to go to work, all those things. I almost have had to, it was so hard leaving them to go to work every day. And I was dealing with a ton of mental health stuff, mainly panic attacks. When I would leave, I would have a panic attack like in the car. I can't tell you how many days I drove bawling my eyes out to the office. And sometimes I'm like, I know it's okay. And I'm still feeling crazy about it. They're home with my husband. Yeah. Could you imagine if I was dropping them at daycare? I'm telling myself these things. It took me kind of having to like disassociate a little bit to get myself back in line with being more of a corporate individual.
Okay.
Where I would go to work and tell Nick, like, I can't check in with you until like way late. Like I couldn't think about the kids and think about work. Like I had to chunk them.
Yeah.
And that proved to be a pretty hard thing for me to do because I have ADHD and it's like a ball of wire. So it's all going at the same time. So learning that and getting diagnosed really helped.
Good.
Just to know symptom wise, you think about everything all at once. That's normal for you, right? For Nick, he was fine. He was like, you go do your thing, come back. I think where it gets a little hairy is that since he's with them all day and I'm working all day, I come home, he needs a break from the kids. I want to be with the kids, right? But I don't want to then take them all the way through bedtime by myself. So the challenges that we face are when we're together with the kids. When we're solo with the kids, it's better, right? Like he has his whole thing that he's been doing with them. They have their routine. He has his like, he's the more like strict parent because he has to be, right? And I'm like, no, you can have this. You can do this. We can go here. We can do that. And then I'm getting caught with like my pants down at the park by myself with two kids and they're running in two different directions. And I come home and he's like, I told you not to do that. These are the rules. These are the parameters. And I just lack in experience. So it hurts your ego a little bit, right? When you're the mom.
Of course.
And then now my husband's telling me what to do.
You're supposed to be the expert. Traditionally, you're supposed to be the expert, and this is the opposite way. You're supposed to be telling him, I told you don't do this. So yeah, it's a big shift. Are you still struggling with that now? Like, do you find that even though you've been doing this for a while, that this still creeps up every now and then?
It does. And we're doing a better job now of committing to an actual schedule. Because being home with the kids, as opposed to like everyone packing up and leaving the house for the day, the days can blend together, right?
Absolutely.
So what we're trying to do now is commit to nights and bedtime has been a whole thing, as you know, as like Nick gets a night out of the house, whatever that means for him, where I'm going to come home, I'm going to relieve him, I'm going to do bedtime. Sometimes it's easier with one parent. They get crazy when you're both there.
Yes.
At the end of the day, and they want to show mom everything they did, but dad's trying to get them to eat dinner. Scheduling wise, I think it's been better. On the weekends, I'm trying to like take them to my parents for the whole day, just be out of the house so he can have some quiet time. The noise level in our house is like, you just can't get away from it. In a row home in South Philly, even in the backyard, you can't get away from it. So you physically have to remove yourself from the premise to unwind a little bit. I think thinking of each other when it comes to the kids less as like, this is going to sound weird, less as husband and wife and more as like parent partners, where it's like these roles that we play when we're with the kids aren't necessarily like lovey-dovey wife or like big, strong husband. It's just like, hey, we need to be efficient. We need to be on the same team. And like marriage stuff can go to the side. And then we can talk about it if they ever go to bed. So I think we've been holding our breath a little bit on the marriage stuff for the last few years, but it's been merely out of survival.
But you're doing it.
We're doing it and we're loving it. And it's the hardest thing we've ever done, will ever do. Nick is so adamant and he's just like obsessed with being a dad. It's like so endearing to me. It's like his mission to give them a childhood that he didn't have, that he never really could have even imagined.
Yeah.
Which is just beyond sweet. I do feel like when I look back at how everything's unfolded and the magic and miracle of like having two kids at once is like, this is like Nick's healing journey through his past. And he admits that too. He's changed so much faster in a positive way since we've had the kids. And I've kind of gone the other way, which it affects us both differently. And he is succeeding in this like stay-at-home dad, and I'm struggling to juggle, right?
Yeah.
I think it's experience, and he has like one job, right? Being a full-time parent and husband, and I'm juggling two jobs. with working full time and being full time. So I think it's just a different learning curve for me. And also, like, you're right, like, it's not the natural role that we've been like conditioned or been telling ourselves that this is what it's going to look like. So every day we just say the chaos, the whole living room, it's like 7:30 and everything's everywhere. And I'm just like so grateful. We have a house, we have food, we have 2 healthy kids that are screaming like crazy and climbing over everything. But like, this is what healthy kids look like.
Yeah, that's what happiness looks like. But in all sincerity, you guys do have to find time for each other.
We do. Yeah.
So like, this is apparently
We're,
turning
like,
into an
finally
intervention for
coming-
you. So I'm going to intervent you. If you wait any longer, because they're 3 or 3.5 now.
They'll be 3 in July.
Okay. So you're right there, right? So now 3-year-olds, different type of human, right? Than a 1-year-old. So the priority still has to be them, unfortunately, because they still need you to stay alive. But now you could hybrid it a little bit. And since your family lives so close, even if you had to hire a spot sitter,
Yes.
even if you had to do that, which as an educator, you would probably say it's good to have new people introduced into the circle because
just
that new
started doing
person.
that.
Yes. So the thing is that introduces a whole new set of things. But not only is our responsibility to be good parents, but it is, when available, it is also our responsibility to show them what a functional relationship looks like.
Correct. Yeah.
So now that we just discussed in the beginning, that now they're going to start to remember a lot more things,
Yes.
right? This is where kids learn to fight with people or forgive people or have more empathy than typical. This is it. This is your empathetic season. And so now you have to have empathy to not only the littles, but to the big as well. And also, you know what's really crazy, Alexandra? You're experiencing what so many dads have experienced for decades. Decades. And yet we have been shutting them up, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, it would be like, no, that's your job.
You're not the mom.
Yeah. But there's so many dads
They're
out there
they
that
feel
felt like
on
that.
the sidelines a little bit.
Yeah.
And like, I walk in every night and the moment where they're like, Mom, like, it's amazing. And then they want to tell me everything they did. And then there's that feeling of like, oh shit, I just missed the whole day.
Yeah.
And I have to do it again tomorrow. And then I look at my husband and he is beyond exhausted.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I don't know if I would trade it. Like,
Yeah.
he's like a strong man. I'm like, it takes a strong man. Like,
Yeah.
every woman's a strong man and a strong woman to do this kind of shit. Like, it's 110% all day.
Girl, there's no winning. There's no good side to the story. Everybody loses for the first 3 years. It's just what it is. This is it. As long as you could stay with your head above water, even if it's just your nose, like literally, if it's the water line is right above your top lip, just do what you got to do. But now you're like, okay, we have to shuffle the deck a tiny bit. And also, like, you know that I literally have no actual letters after my name that give me any credibility to talk about any of this. However, I've been seeing this shit for 15 years. 15 years I'm sitting on this side of the table listening to twin families. So what I have learned through the years, and not even from my own experience, but you have to tell him what your deal breakers are, which are the things that break your heart. So is it that when the boys are like, we went to the zoo today, and you're like, how could you go to the zoo without me? Like, you know, that's my spot. So you have to find what those are. And if one slips in that you didn't know was a deal breaker for you, then you just got to add it to the list, but let it go.
Right.
Because there's things and it's the same thing with dads. When dads come home and they're like, what? You went where with them? You took them, you got whatever the heck it was. This is the story that dads have been complaining about. So they're like, hey, listen, these are the places I prefer you not to go without me because I really want to see the look on their face for the first time. You just have to make a list of those things and say, okay, what are my actual deal breakers that if you say XYZ, I will be devastated. And I do not know how many of those little hurricanes I could handle without just toppling over. Because then the thing is, we start to see him as the problem where Nick isn't the problem. Nick is just the ringleader that's literally being led by the little lions that are telling him what to do. But if Nick was like, hey, listen, we can't do this without mommy, then there's no discussion. The end. We can't do it. And the thing is, then if anything, you become the bad guy, which you're fine with. You're like, listen, I'm not missing out on that.
I'm not there.
Yes, but like it happened, even something so that we would say, oh, that's so silly. But like dads were like, you watched, Polar Express without me.
Yeah.
Little things where you're like, really? This is a conversation we're having?
That has happened. Like with me taking them on the weekends more with my parent, everyone's more available to help on the weekends. And I'm like, I'm going to do this. And Nick's like, wait, what? Hold on. Even knowing what those triggers are, there's so many triggers now, but the mom guilt triggers, they hit the hardest. That's a great idea to just make a little list.
Yeah, like whatever it can't be like a friggin' laundry list of 600 things. Like make it like 10 or less. That's it. Because the thing is, if you make it too many, he's never going to remember what they are.
Or leave the house.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, at that point, you have to say, okay, here, like, please don't do this without me. Like, this hurts me when they say this. Or there are things that to you may just be like, I know this sounds stupid, but it doesn't matter. If that is something that is meaningful to you, then somebody has to know that, because nobody's trying to hurt your feelings. Nobody's trying to hurt his feelings. It's just life happens because you're living in the easy pass express lane with these kids who have no off switch.
Yeah. A lot of the back and forth between us on decision making comes down to that. I'm like, but things are moving so fast. Like I didn't have a chance to check with you. I didn't have a chance to call you.
Yes.
I've really had to like put my ego on the shelf when it comes to schedule and procedure within the house. I'm like, let's just go upstairs and get changed for the day. And he's like, you bring the clothes downstairs. And I'm like, why? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, take them upstairs. Go see what happens. And then we're upstairs for 60 minutes in every room. They're in the office. They're in my bed. Now they're under the bed, and I'm like, oh, this is why Nick changes them downstairs. Okay, this makes sense.
But you had to learn that. You had to see that yourself. Some things literally you have to learn the hard way. And Nick has to just literally say, all right, I'm going to take a shower. Good luck. Go upstairs. Have fun. Enjoy the haunted mansion that's upstairs.
A little bit better when he tells me, don't let them make pancakes unless they're at the table, something like that. I'm a very like type A at work, a very type B mom, where I want them to experience whatever it is that they're doing. And I'm like the opposite of helicopter in the most safest way possible, I guess.
I feel that. That's pretty typical. Like, honestly, Alexandra, like that's moms of today. Like we want to be involved in everything, but we want them to be free. It's like, what are we talking about right now? We can't have it both ways. You just have to witness the whatever the heck is going to happen. And so the other day I was talking so I lead a new mom support group every week in Manhattan. Okay. Different story for different day. It's for singletons. I didn't say it out loud. So for those of you that are listening that are like, oh my God, she's a traitor. I work out of a New York City pediatric office, which is where I got my clinical hours to get my IBCLC. And so in order to repay them for allowing me to get my 1,500 clinical hours, this is what I do. I volunteer once a week. I sit down with a bunch of moms and I let them just cry, but they are all singletons. And I do feel a way about it, but whatever. My poker face is really great. So last week, somebody said to me, what are the biggest mistakes that you made? Or what are the biggest regrets that you made? And I was like, we do not have time. There is no time unless we have like some weird kind of time capsule. There's no way. But I said, but the biggest mistake that I think I made was not letting them make enough mistakes. And so that hybrid helicopter, wanting them to experience, but staying over them, truthfully, I wish that they got hurt a little bit more, not physically, but even emotionally. Like if people didn't want to play with them, instead of saying, you have to play together. No, that's actually not reality. That's never going to be reality.
No boundaries
Yes. Yeah. So instead of saying telling the other kids, you guys have to play together as a team. I should have said to my kids, hey, listen, not everybody's cup of tea. Let's go to plan B.
Yeah.
So things like giving them more strategies instead of making this like universal, here's what's going to happen. I humbly regret not having them fail more.
I think that was a theme for my parents' generation where everyone got a trophy kind of thing.
Yes.
Where Nick likes to make things not like struggle, but a challenge. Like if they're both playing with something It's like, I want that toy. Well, you can have the toy when Oliver is done with it. Go do something else until then. It's okay if you're frustrated. This age is so funny. One,
it
they
is.
do exactly what we do. Keeping yourself calm is so hard, but it keeps them calm. Or when they're, like their little fists are going and they're like, I'm frustrated. And just hearing them say those words, I'm like, that's great. Instead of hitting someone or, throwing
Yeah, that's a
something.
miracle.
It's
good
all
for
like
them.
practice with this. And I'm watching it through a male perspective, and I think he's doing phenomenally. Like,
well, you live in testosterone town, for God's sake. So like, honestly, you're the odd person out anyway.
Oh yeah.
And so I feel for you that it's like, they're like this cool gang.
Yeah.
And then you have to go figure out if they're going to let you sit at the lunch table.
Yes.
I feel for you. I do.
If I bring snacks.
Yep. I empathize with it. I understand it. I feel for you. But the only way that you could get past it and they could get past it is you just got to sit at the lunch table and be like, what up? That's it. Yeah. What are we farting now? Is this a group farting session? Let's go. Yeah. I'm going to win. Yep. Here we go.
It's like the funniest thing.
Yes.
The burping, the farting. And now we're potty training.
Oh, good times.
Penis questions.
Oh,
mom has boobs and mom has two boobs, or they see both of them. They're like, they're broken. What's going on? Like, aren't they supposed to be? Just all of their little things are hilarious.
I love kids. This is such a great age. It gets so much fun now. So all that hard work that you put in before, it really gets to be, and it gets better every single year. And I will tell you, I didn't fear the teenage years. It didn't have any problem where I thought that everybody was like, oh, it's going to be good, but wait till they turn to be a teenager. Nope, no problems whatsoever.
The weirdest thing.
I also think that because we live in smaller dwellings, that we have less problems because our kids have no place to hide. So where everybody's like, how do you live in 650 square feet? I'm like, listen, we have one TV. So if they want to watch something, we sit as a family, whether we all watch something that somebody wants to watch. So we all have to take turns, which I swear.
Turn is it to pick which Bluey episode or which Mickey episode or.
Now for me, it's the foods that made America. I can't watch another episode of this. I can't, guys. I love you. Could we find something else? Nope. It's so funny how as the kids evolve, you're going to evolve, but you can never forget that your goal is to raise them with your husband, not for your husband to raise them and then you're over here.
Yeah.
So because they will grow up, they will go someplace else, they will be somebody else's problems, right? As the saying goes, your son is your son till he takes a wife, but your daughter's your daughter for the rest of your life, right?
Oh, my parents totally are dealing with that.
Yep. So you got two boys that are going to go off into the sunset, maybe, although I think there's plenty of exceptions to that rule, but it's, you guys have to figure out, how are we as a couple going to make it through this? How are we going to show our boys what a healthy marriage looks like? How are we going to show the boys what an adult partnership looks like? So now you have new jobs. Now it's not just
I feel
your nose
changing.
above water.
Yes.
It's going to get better.
I've had to tell them, they're starting to get concepts, right? It's like, just this morning, I'm getting dressed upstairs. They're downstairs, calling up to me every 2 minutes. Mom, what are you doing, Mom? And so has learned he's known our names, but for some reason he keeps calling me Alexandra and Dad, Nicholas. So now he's like calling my name upstairs and I'm like, buddy, I just need a couple more minutes. Like, I'm just getting dressed. I don't even know where I was going with that, to be honest.
It doesn't matter because that is an actual stream of consciousness that is a twin mom brain. If we had
my full name, because, friends usually call me Alex and I'm like, did you just call me Alexandra?
That's it. You were in trouble.
Wow.
That's what it was. You were in trouble. You're lucky he didn't use your middle name. Then you would have known it was really serious.
He'll know it soon. Then he asked the whole family name,
Oh, that's the best.
They're so sweet.
Girl, it's going to get so much fun. You are going to have such a great year. I am so excited for you.
Thanks.
It's so much fun. Literally every single day with this age, And I know they're like, oh my God, they're three-nagers. No, they're just tiny humans. Everybody stop putting labels on shit and just let these
I know.
friggin' kids be.
Honestly,
They're just-
everything's better than the infancy period for me.
That's it. You just got to get through that. You got to and once you're out of diapers,
Yes.
Forget it.
Yes. I want to put that budget line item into like swim class.
Yes.
Or gymnastics.
To put it into a Disney vacation, it's so much money that you spend on that. Yes. Girl, it's going to get so much better. And I love that you and Nick have made this wonderful decision to somebody just stay there. And by the way, for those of you that can't, right? I don't want you to ever feel judged that like a parent has to stay home. There's definitely 18 million different options. You have to figure out how you're going to stay alive, right? If you guys have to function, but I do challenge everybody to say, how much does it cost one partner to work?
Please know that we've gone back and forth on, okay, like financially, this is really tough. Some months are better than others, right? Then Christmas hits and you're
forget it.
Again.
Yeah.
And I will say we've put our long-term financial goals on hold a little bit knowingly. But now when I look at the twin price, I mean, in South Philly, for 3 days a week right now, it would cost me around $2,500 a month.
Yep.
And that's only 3 days. So, Nick could go find some sort of situation, which he will, and we will, and it'll be, we'll get there. But to not have the experiences with them, especially living inner city, like there's so much to do. I grew up in a very white suburb of Philadelphia, and my kids are more cultured at age 2 than I was probably till I was in college. So I just felt like it was important to let them create their own little world where they go off into the world. They're in school forever after this.
That's true. That's it. Once they start preschool, there's never going to be a break in school until if they go to college, then it's going to be after that. If they go to grad school, it's after that. It could be decades, literally, obviously.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be decades, actually. What
definitely going to be. Yeah. So when my mom or, anyone are like, you really should think, I'm like, it's only been 2 years. So like, I promise they will leave the house. I promise.
You're doing that.
Begging me to bring them back.
You're doing it. You're doing so good. Just really make your deal breaker list.
Yeah.
And then that way you can even put it on the fridge. You got to have a date night.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, even just like smooching is going to feel weird after a while. Like, and you're like, oh my God, we forgot what we're doing. I don't even know. Because also you're a different version of you now, and he's a different version of him.
Yeah.
So even if you've been together for 15 years, it does not matter. You're totally different people now.
Oh yeah. We were together about 10 years when we got pregnant. We are completely different people now. We have to like meet each other again.
Yeah. Yes.
What do we want to do? Right.
Yeah.
We don't want to go out at night, late night, see friends and dance all night. That's
different priorities.
We have to get up at 7. So let's go have like a picnic in the afternoon or something.
Yeah. You have to figure out who you guys are again and just continue to stay in love so that when the boys are somebody else's issue, you guys are like, oh, remember that? Wasn't that ridiculous? Oh, remember when they were peeing on the tree outside?
So much easier than taking care of two humans.
Yes. It's nothing.
Nothing.
Literally, my friends cannot understand. They're like, why do you go away so much with your husband? I'm like, because I missed, I don't know, a good 15 years of just, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
And I worked from home. So like, honestly,
you were here, but like,
it's literally, there's no winning.
I can't sit down.
You won't go again.
Friday off, and I took today off because I had a work trip last week. I've gotten more sleep in the last 4 days, and I feel more tired than I have in months. I know I needed it.
I love that you guys have a plan. I like that we have a new plan. I hope I could help a little bit. I love that you have been listening to this stupid podcast, which I still can't believe that anybody listens to. It's shocking to me, though. It really is. Like if you, for everybody
special, these twin parents, like
but
no one would sign up for it. Let's just say that.
Amen, sister. Amen, sister. But
Thanks for all you do.
It's my pleasure. But seriously, when you meet me, if and when everybody in the world meets me and they're like, oh my God, it's Nat, I'm telling you, I am just as floored to meet you. That's because I know what it's like. I know.
Yeah.
I didn't forget. I am a very humble person at the end of the day. And I never lose sight of the fact that I get to exist because I get to help you. And that makes me feel weird. This is my karma points. This is not a job where I'm buying Maseratis or getting my kids giraffes for Christmas. It's not that kind of thing at even close. But if I could just, like, as long as me and the Twiniversity team could stay above water, we will continue every single day to continue providing support to anybody who needs it worldwide. No matter if it's two, if it's three, the singletons, we're going to leave that.
I'm glad you get to check in with those moms too, because it just keeps things in perspective.
It really does. It really does. And it's interesting to see what they stress about. And truthfully, it's not much different, but everybody's hard is their hard.
I believe that 100%.
That's all that I keep saying. So if there's singletons that are like, oh my God, I can't get this kid to sleep. In my head, I'm like, hold my beer, like, give me a break. But then at the same time, that's her struggle. Like, that's it. And so I have to honor that struggle, and I have to just like literally hear it out, because it is just as challenging. So yeah, it's the whole singleton universe I've infiltrated sneakily, and I'm going to stay there. I kind of like it.
All the parents need all the support, the way the system functions.
And there's nothing like Twiniversity for singletons.
So
there really isn't.
Out there.
There isn't. It's all very for-profity. It's not very universal. It's not very global. I don't know why. Girl, I feel bad for them. At least we got us. That's it. We stick together. I always say we all need some kind of like matching bracelet that we know when we see each other on like the train or Amtrak on an airplane. But I will tell you also, because you haven't.
I'm like, twins?
See,
can we talk? I've had a mom come up to me on the playground. They were little and hers were running. And she was like, did you guys have twins? And I was like, yeah. And she pulled me aside. She's like, are you okay? Like, no.
Yeah. You're like, absolutely not. You will find other twin families throughout your life in random, unexplained places. And you will know that the universe has literally, this sounds so stupid, I just heard what I said, but I mean it, because I've been sitting on a plane, and what are the odds that like the woman sitting next to me, after we've been on like a 6-hour flight, we find out that we have twins, only because I had a stupid Twiniversity sticker on the back of my phone.
I need something like that.
Literally, they're on Etsy. We have a crap ton of Twiniversity stickers. It is our universal calling card that you put it on your laptop. You flap that open, library, airport, Starbucks. We will find each other just by our stupid little logo. And that's it.
I'm in the group.
That's it. Etsy. We'll put links in the show notes, et cetera, et cetera. But girl, I am so proud of you. You are doing so good every single day. Even if it's horrible, you get another one tomorrow. And just let it go, whatever it is, and start from scratch. You got this.
This was really therapeutic. Thank you so much.
I didn't think that's what this was. I do like that typically I try to have you guys tell the story, but I feel this need to like shake you and be like, don't lose it with him. Yeah. Because you're going to be so sad. The longer that you wait, the bigger that elephant in that room gets. And to the point where you're both suffocating from the size of the elephant in that room. And I do not want that happening to you or anybody that is potentially listening to this. Because if there's something that we could do to make our lives better, but we inadvertently are avoiding the hard, freaking stop it. Just pull off the Band-Aid, pull out the tooth, whatever it is. Just say the words, whatever you feel. Be like, I'm self-conscious now about this. I worry about this. It does not matter how dumb it sounds to you. Get it out there into the universe and just let other people help you. That's it. Let everybody express themselves. Girl, you're going to have it easy breezy lemon squeezy. I'm manifesting it into your universe. Plah, plah, plah. That's it. That's my whammies. You're doing it. All right. So those of you that are listening know that if you have questions for me or Alexandra, you could always email us at community@twiniversity.com. We check that inbox probably, 40, 50 times a day. So the Twiniversity team is on all coasts. So depending on what time you send it, there will always be somebody checking something. So we got you covered. And know that not only do we have this great resource for you here, but whether you're listening to this or whether you're watching this, it does not matter. We have a ton more stuff available, and 90% of it is free. So that 10% we would like for you to spend, 30 cents today. That would be if everybody spent 30 cents, I would be buying a giraffe.
$1 million.
Oh my God, could you imagine? That'll never happen. We're 3% of the population. I have to get rid of that. I let that go. I let go that I will never be super duper rich in my life or just be comfortable. That's it. Can I get the extra guac? Like, that's the level of comfort that I want in my life. Can I afford the extra guac? And the answer currently is yes. So thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that. But until next time, guys, just be good to each other and just genuinely know that if you're going through something, we probably can help you. So remember, we have our Twiniversity membership group every second Tuesday that Alexandra should be freaking joining. And also Nick should be joining because he needs the support as well. Everybody is welcome. So just go to twiniversity.com/memberships to learn more about that. And guys, until next time, see you later, alligators.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. Hope you have a great day. Thanks, Nat.
You got it, guys. See you later, alligators.